Hello, how are you? I hope you're keeping well and you're keeping safe. My name is Marion Obura, and I am an events consultant and a businesswoman. And I'd like to welcome you to my channel where we discuss all things related to events and business. Now, today we are at Park Inn by Radisson, which is in Westlands, Nairobi, Kenya. And it's an amazing hotel which has a number of spaces that you can use for any function. And today we are changing it up a little bit. We are normally at the rooftop. Today we are at the events terrace, which is on the first floor, and it is amazing. I mean, look at this. It's got a beautiful view, and we're enjoying being here. And I'd also like to thank Lillian from Floral Art for this amazing, beautiful flower arrangement. And we are still continuing with the Resilience series. And this is where we get experts in the events industry to share their story, to tell us what they did to pull through 2020, what they're currently doing, and also share their ideas that they think other people in the events industry and even those in business should implement. So today I'm really excited, man, really excited, because I have Dorothy Kimweli from House of Dotty. And House of Dotty is just one of those most sought out wedding planning companies in Kenya. I mean, most couples just want their weddings to be done by them. They're just amazing. And it's such an honor to have Dorothy. So karibu sana.
Asante, Marion. Thank you so much for having us.
Karibu. I know Alfie was supposed to be here, but things happen.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's the benefit of having a couple-owned business.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Marion. Absolutely.
Thank you. So it's been a journey. We've been trying to get you guys here for, I think it's been a month. A month, but I really wanted you to come because I think you guys have an amazing story. So I know you'll do it justice, and I know you'll share, and I'm also willing to learn from you, being also in the industry. So maybe you can start. I know people know you, but for the sake of those who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So Marion, my name is Dorothy Kimweli.
Yes, I got that right.
I'm half of House of Dotty because I do this with Alfred Kimweli, who's my business partner and life partner.
Oh,
we do this together. We are planners, event planners. Okay, I like to say we are wedding planners because we are passionate about weddings.
And I think that comes through in
we
everything that you do.
We are passionate about weddings. We do other events that are not necessarily weddings. But we are passionate about weddings. That's where we stand. That's what we love. And we hope to do this for a long time.
Oh, yes.
But let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, that's who we are. We are also parents of 2 daughters.
Oh, nice.
Jasmine and Kanya. And that's why Alfred is not here. He had a parent commitment.
I'm telling you.
With Kanya. Yeah, he had a parent commitment. So, of course, because working as a couple, that helps. So we can just balance everything out. Yeah, so that's why Alfred is not here. Of course, that's House of Dotty.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. You know why I really needed you to come here today? It was because you are a couple running an events company, and then COVID happens. How? How did you take that? Like, what was your first reaction or response towards it? And what what did you go through as a family? Because both of you are in the same industry, and then comes COVID, and livelihood changed. And I think between April and August, there was barely anything. What did you do?
Well, just like everybody, it was a new thing. We didn't even know how long it was going to last. Actually, when the first announcement was made, I think it was either the 16th or 15th of March, where we had the first case had been found. We had a wedding on the Saturday. I think that was made like on Friday, and then there was the first announcement on Saturday, something like that. That there was a first case, and we had a wedding. And actually, it was for
actually
diaspora.
Friday.
Yeah, it was, and we had a
Friday.
wedding that Saturday, and it was a diaspora client. They had come from the States, both of them. So that was our first encounter with now people starting to panic. Of course, we did the wedding. It was for 300 people. At that time, nothing had been declared.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and did the wedding. We brought sanitizers. I think we were the first people to start now using sanitizers.
Yes.
We just bought a couple of sanitizers and we tried as much as possible to sanitize all the guests. So that happened. Then now schools were announced that they were going to be closed, and then they now put in measures, no events, no. So our first reaction was like, okay, what does this mean? Like everybody else, we didn't know what this meant.
Yeah.
How long this was going to last.
Yeah.
So and then clients started getting in touch with us. And I don't know, Marion, if I've ever told you this, but about 90% of our clients are in the diaspora. So with airports closed and things, so clients started getting in touch with us. We had weddings scheduled for, say, April, May, June. So of course, people started calling to postpone, to say, wait and see. And so we were taken aback like everybody else. I started calling we started calling our other friends in the event space just to find out what's the thought, what's the plan, what are they thinking. And there was no clear direction, to be honest. And so we had to now work day at a time.
Did you feel like giving up at that point?
No, really, I'm not going to say we felt like giving up, because I don't know if it's just we weren't sure of the magnitude of the thing, but I was not really, I think both of us really didn't get into panic. But now when we got to April,
all right, the month,
and we still had our staff march. We had 12 full-time staff members. So end of March, we paid them their dues. Anyway, they had worked.
Yes.
And then now April comes. So now we are thinking, what do we do? So our first thing was we had a meeting with the staff and we told them, this is the situation. You all can see what's happening. So we can't afford, first of all, of course you had some deposits put in by clients.
Yes.
Some are asking for their money back. Some are saying, hold it, we'll let you know. So, and then of course, in the line of business we are in, we do borrow a lot from banks, from, different sources of different places. And so we had to now think, what are we going to do? So the first step was to first tell our staff this is the situation.
Okay.
Then when we saw it's getting even worse, we closed the store. We had stores. We had to close them, moved everything into our home.
Wow.
Into our home.
Into
our home. It was a mess.
Guys, do you know House of Dotty? House of Dotty has tents.
Yeah.
They have chairs. Yeah. They have tables. A lot of hardware stuff.
Yeah.
You guys don't deal with you guys mainly deal with the hard.
Yeah, we like to say, so maybe if I can just digress from our earlier discussion. When I started planning many years ago, selling planning was a hard sale. Okay, Marion, you know that. If I can say that, you were the people I was following behind. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
It was a hard sale, so we had to bring in some extra things to just supplement our income, despite the fact that our passion is planning. We had to bring in supplementary income things, and part of it were tents, chairs, as we kept growing as we go. So we started pole pole, and then, we kept growing. And so we moved all our stuff into our home because we were sure we were not going to be able to afford paying rent.
I wish it was
in a
possible to
store.
see a picture, like how
It's
that
not.
house
It's
looked
not
like.
changed. It's not changed.
Oh,
Because
really?
we are still things are still being stored in our home because we are still in.
In a
I mean, we can't say we are quite clear. So we are still. So everything, it was a mess. But we
But
had
you
to
survived.
accept that's the way it had to be. Then of course our staff, we told them, now we can't have you. We'll just be calling you on need base.
How did they take it?
They were very cooperative.
Oh, thank God.
I've had most of the staff for a very long time.
Okay.
And most of them understood for us to get to that point. There was no otherwise. Of course, concerns were there, and we told them, when we get something, by any chance, we will try and share whatever little we have with you people. But this is the situation at the moment. Having been in the business, both of us, that was even worse. Being in debt, we had to go talk to our people who owe us money, who we owe money, to try and negotiate the debts.
Did that help? I feel like being single,
Yeah.
I was dealing with a lot of things myself.
Yeah.
Did it help having Alfred?
Absolutely. We held each other's hand. We talked. There are things men are not able to do that women can do. There are things we like when I don't have food, it's easy for me to call you, Marion, and tell you, hey, things are thick.
Yes,
please can you
give us
send
some
me food?
money.
But men will not do that.
Okay.
So that kind of balances when you're going through this together. There's what he does and there's what I can do to just make everyone at peace. Of course, we had to also be strong because we have children, we have family that depends on us and other people, so we had to keep going.
Did you do anything to supplement? I know there were no weddings from April to around, when did you?
Our first wedding was August, and from March was August, and it was already a pre-planned wedding. So we just cut down the numbers, and the client said we are going ahead regardless if we're doing 15. You remember at that time it was 15, and I think it went I think something to 30. But the client was, regardless, we are doing this and we are going ahead. So from March, the first wedding we did was August. We didn't have anything coming in.
What?
How? We didn't have anything.
I mean, so how does this family survive? How did you survive?
So
I know April, maybe there was still money from March, but now we go into May, June, and I'm asking because there are quite a number of people who have couple-owned businesses, and maybe they can learn from.
So I reached out. I reached out to people when things were bad.
Okay.
I thank God for so many people. They know themselves. I don't have to mention them.
Yeah.
I have a couple of clients, former clients, who reached out and sent money.
Dorothy.
Absolutely.
No way. The wedding industry?
Yes, we
have
clients who we did their weddings. They reached out and they were like, we know things are bad. Send 20K, send 10K, send. Absolutely. That's why, when people are planning weddings, it's like you're just doing a job to finish. Us, we do it like we are doing for our little sister or brother and we try to keep relationships.
Do you think that maintaining the relationships with the couples is what created this?
Yeah, and also some couples whose wedding was later were even giving us deposits, just like, okay, you guys use that. We'll talk about it later. We talked to our suppliers as well. Remember, in this business, you owe suppliers money.
Yes, because you
we negotiate.
No one has everything.
Keep good relationships. Don't refuse to pick your call. If somebody's calling you for debt, don't refuse to pick it. Explain yourself. I believe there's some humanity. If you've kept great relationships over the years, people understand the kind of people you are and the fact that you're genuine people, and over time you've always been paying your debts back to what people should do in future. Try to keep great relationships, because when you owe people money and you pay them, you take things you pay, even when you're in that spot, people will understand. This is the situation House of Dotty is in, Majestic Events is in. This is the situation people are in right now, and they normally pay. So for them to tell us right now they are not able, honestly, if you've kept great relations over time, people will cut you some
We'll
slack.
cut you some slack.
Yeah.
Did this flow over to the bank? I'm sure that
Absolutely,
we've gotten
banks and
loans.
other areas where we borrow, because sometimes banks are not able to loan you money in quick. I mean, I can
at you know,
like this. So
like
sometimes
this.
you need money. So sometimes you'll go to other areas, and I'm not going to say it's been easy. I'm not going to make it look here like it's all
Also
rosy
rosy.
and all that.
Yeah.
But banks were giving moratoriums and other things, but it was not easy, but we were able to just talk to people, keep renegotiating our debts and things like that, reaching out to people,
Yeah.
just those kinds of things.
I think what I'm hearing from you is relationships matter.
Absolutely.
When you're going through a tough spot, it's the relationships that you have built
over
not
time.
You want to start building,
Yes.
but that you have built over time that will help.
Yes.
Wow.
Of course, we have little jobs that came like 20 chairs, 30 chairs.
Yes.
They bought food.
Yes.
I can tell you the truth. One of my good friends in the event space, her mom used to send us food every 2 weeks. She goes to Meru. She knows herself. I love you, girl. I love your mom.
Oh.
Send me a whole sack of potatoes, peas, carrots, onions. Relationships again. She didn't have to.
You're the first person. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
When you reach out and then the favor and then those relationships. I mean, people sending you food.
Relationships. The mom was like, we've been doing business for so long. Just send. Goes to Meru, sends a whole sack of potatoes and carrots, and it was awesome. It was really touching.
I guess that's why you're in this industry, to stay. Yeah. I mean, if there's anything to convince you, I mean, look at the support that you got.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you prioritize your expenses?
So
during that period?
Yeah, obviously keeping our home afloat, for food and just the normal basic
So
expenditure.
First and foremost, you gave up your office or wherever the store.
Absolutely. So we have to just keep our basic needs met first, Basic means our home has to run, our food has to run, and, the necessary people that needs to be taken care of are taken care of. And then after that, back to now, when we get some money, if there's any debts that we owe, that we feel, hey, this person is going through the same pressure as we are, then we see in order of priority. So
meet first your basic needs.
Absolutely.
And then now, plan on how to prioritize the
and
payments.
Our staff, because our staff who we let go, they also needed. They also come to us, and they need.
And just the same way you've received
you need
such
to give
help, you're also helping your staff. That's amazing. So what are you doing now? And I'll tell you why I'm asking. Very many weddings that have happened from August to date, as of late last weekend. You guys have been busy. What's the secret? Like, I really just want to know. And I'm sure everyone wants to know, because now House of Dotty has come out really strong. Is it the marketing? Because I know you're also strong on social media. So could you share with us what has helped you?
If there's something that came out very well after COVID is our social media. We were very lazy social media people before. Alfred and I are really not
in it.
It's not our thing, and it's okay. And so over time, we used to be told, get people to do this for you. One of the people I really want to thank is this young people I got, and they prior to COVID, we had started talking to them about, making our social media pages more active and stuff like that. So during COVID, we told them, this has happened. So what do? They told us, just send us what you have, whatever you get. And they were on it. You know yourselves. I don't have to say who you are. They came through for us, so our social media, because then we were able to, because we don't have much work to do, we're able to sit back, see what content we need for our social media, look for it, get it. And honestly, our social media has grown since COVID.
I will say, yes.
So it has really helped in business for us, because though majority of our business is referral. I mean, for wedding planning is a service.
Yes. And it's personal.
it's very hard to put a service on social media for people to understand what exactly you do.
Yes.
So unless first they've been told by someone who's gone through that wow, these people do this for you, it's so hard to really quantify. Not like putting flowers in and say this is what we do, cake and say this is what we do. Our service is very hard to sell. So so our most of our business is from referrals. Now once somebody is referred and they go to our social media pages and they see, it's really
easier.
helping.
Yeah.
Those people who go to social media, check out House of Dotty, and they're seeing what we are doing, and they get in touch with us, and they ask around, and they get referrals. That's really helping. So honestly speaking, a lot of work we've had from August has been former clients who we had planned. Their weddings were to be probably earlier in the year. Then maybe between August and March, they moved their weddings. So most of them were already existing clients. A few of them were new, but most of them were existing clients whose wedding just moved. That's why it seems like we've been so busy. We were just catching up on what we couldn't do last year, because most of them stayed with us, postponed, and said, we'll hang on and just see how things are going, and then we will. So from most of our clients from August to March, honestly, has been former clients, and we're just catching up with what we...
I mean, thank God they didn't leave.
Yeah, we thank God. God. We are still having, of course, a challenge, because I think we're on the red in most countries. So like UK, I think they're on the red. So our clients from the UK are like,
we're not coming.
We're waiting.
We just want to see.
So that's still giving us a bit of anxiety. And not only, I think most Europe, they've put Kenya on the red. Guys from the US are coming.
Yes.
It's a bit easy. Guys from the US is easy. But Europe, generally, they still that thing of, okay, it's like we don't know how to handle our crisis yet. So it's those... So it's diplomatic wars that we cannot even talk about, but it will be well.
Yeah. What other lessons? I think what's come through is relationships. What other lessons did you learn, or have you learned during this process, this whole pandemic season, running a business?
So we are both of us are in the event space. So we're like, we need to think about probably diversity. We need to plan better in terms of finances and things like that. What can we do? We've been thinking a lot.
I think a lot of people have been
as in, we need... Those are lessons we've learned. How planning, just from finances to everything, and then diversification. What else can we do? Which is still killing us, because we are so passionate about what we do. So I've been thinking, what can I do that's still within this line but out? I don't know,
I remember calling you last year and saying, no, we are not farmers. So what do we do?
Yeah. So. Actually, if I can say that, like last year, people used to call, So what else what's your plan?
Yes.
It was really putting me down, because I'm like, now you're asking me what else can we do, but we're in this space where nothing is going on.
Yeah.
Everybody, even people who are employed, leave alone people in business, their jobs were still threatened.
Yes.
So if you call me and ask me, sometimes we just needed to just be encouraged, not...
And so that was not happening.
So what's the plan? What are you and Alfred planning to do? You guys need to think about other things. I'm like, okay, but this is our love. This is our passion. But, I think they meant well, but it's just the way sometimes it comes out.
It doesn't come out the right way.
Especially when you're going through a crisis, you're like, I'm not a farmer.
Yeah.
Kudos to farmers, because that's where we get our food, but that's not my passion.
That's not your passion.
Yeah.
I remember Nyambura Chege, a counseling psychologist, saying that during this season, we need to be very sensitive about what we say to people around us. And, if you're out there and you know someone who is in an industry like the event space, hospitality, or in business that has been totally affected by this pandemic, just be a little bit sensitive when you speak to them. Yeah. Any other lessons, or the planning? You talked about planning your finances, the relationships. Anything else that you learned?
Of course, diversity. I've mentioned that. And then, just to avoid going crazy, just reach out.
Yeah.
In the event space where we are, I think people are afraid of reaching out because of judging and being judged. But I'm like, just reach out if you can. Reach out. You never know where you can get help. You can get help from the weirdest of places. You can just reach out. Reach out to people. The worst they can say is no, or, maybe next week for now I'm not able, reach out.
Reach out.
I've learned also to do that a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would you tell? I know you've talked generally to people in the event space, but what would you tell businesses or people in the event space who are running it as a couple? What advice would you give to them?
I find it hard to give advice for that because couple dynamics are so different, Miriam.
Yeah.
Marion. You know, Alfred and I have are very good friends. I feel like, God forbid, if anything happened for the business, we try to, it's so hard, because back again to when you're in business together as a couple, where do you separate
family and business?
Business? Why are you talking to me like that? I'm your husband. Or why are you talking? You're being rude.
Yeah.
And then go back home and make sure all that is aside. I mean, at the end of the day, us, we are very prayerful people. So by prayers, we are able to do that. As couples, don't give up. Stick together. Pray together. Talk about everything. Don't be afraid to open up to your spouse about what you're going through. Open up and tell them your fears, your concerns, what's annoying you, and also talk about what you want to do besides what you're doing now together. Because there are times when you feel like, I want to start my own thing. But sometimes when you have a successful thing together, you probably need to involve this other person in that other thing, because if this has been successful, maybe even
probably this other one
will also be
successful.
successful.
Yes, if you do it together.
If you do it together. I mean, that's all I can say for now. Just stick together, don't give up, and it's not easy running a business as a couple, Marion. There's so many challenges, but you know, God, the good thing is visions and goals and things like that are aligned, and that really helps. Yeah.
Awesome. I'll just wanted to say thank you so much for coming today. But what would your parting shot be? I know you're passionate about events, but I know you're more passionate. You're like Kimari. Kimari came here and he said, I am a wedding MC. I'm here to serve couples. And I know weddings are a passion for you. So if you look to that camera, what would you tell someone? What would your parting shot be to the wedding industry? And what would you advise them to do right now? Okay. And then look at that camera.
So what I've learned is we are survivors, to be honest. If last year, with events being locked down and everything, and we are still here, passionate and moving, it's a good industry to be in. We are so many, but let me tell you, those who are passionate are going to be left strong. So keep strong, don't give up. Right now, it's for us to think outside the box and say, if we are only going to stick to 30 people, what experience can we give these 30 people that's going to still make you paid, that's still going to make you happy and satisfied? We need to think that way. It's a challenge right now because we've bought tents and we've bought all those things, and but what can we do to keep, if for example we are told 30 and that's it, what can we do? What can we do? We need to think outside the box and think more of what else can we offer as an industry to keep our industry going. And let's just be encouraged, and it's a good industry to be in, so let's just be encouraged. People are going to get married till forever. as long as people will want to get married. We may keep the numbers low. I'm actually loving the little numbers. We can give better experiences. So let's keep talking and let's not give up.
All right. Thank you so much, Dorothy. That was really encouraging. Thank you for giving us your advice. You've heard it right here on this channel. Don't give up. Think outside the box, and let's give our couples an amazing experience. And that brings us to the end of the interview. Thank you so much, Dorothy. Once again, a big thank you to Aquatronics Studios for doing all the video production and the good work they do with the sound and everything. Thank you so much. A big thank you to Parkin by Radisson, and a big thank you to Floral Art for all the floral arrangements that we're using. And from us, that's it. You've heard it from here. Think outside the box, and let's see you next week.